Hello, everybody, and welcome to Gaming Gold. This is episode 18 for September 5th. My name is Jordan Rader. I am your host. And this week I wanted to talk about, well, guilds or free companies or armies or whatever you want to call them. Most games are called guilds. Most people understand the word guild, so that's what I'm going to refer to them as. I recently just set up a new guild in Final Fantasy. And just had my first sort of officer meeting last night and stuff like that. So I wanted to get in there, sort of talk about what a guild does, what it's for, on multiple different platforms and things like that, and just sort of just go over that and why they're in a game. So yeah, let's just jump right into it, okay? So guilds are, in most games, a group of people that all share resources. That's at the very base of it. That's what they are. They share resources for different reasons. Maybe they just want to hang out. Maybe they're friends in real life. Maybe they want to do elder game content. Maybe they want a PvP. All these different things affect why you would join a guild. And different guilds do things differently and have different goals. Do they want to be, do they want to do server first or world first PvE content? Do they just want to kick back and relax and drink some beers? Do they want to, be the best PvP players on the server? All those different things are reasons to create a guild or to be in a guild, to join a guild, is to basically be in a group with like-minded people. And games facilitate that by having the guild. Guilds generally have different, have their own sort of interface where they can have their own ranks, have their own privileges and stuff like that within the guild. You can set up, there's normally a leader, there's officers, and then you have your general members, and you can have, different levels of all that type of stuff too. So, like the guild that I created for Final Fantasy, we have the guild leader, which is me, and then we have sort of the second in command officer rank, and then we have two officer ranks below that. They're all pretty even, but below that specialize in, these are the guys for crafting and these are the guys for PvE content. And the reason why I separated it like that is so that when new players come in, if they're looking for somebody to say, hey, craft them a new sword, and they're not sure who to ask, well, they know if they go talk to somebody at this rank, they can talk to that person, and if that person can make it for them, or they'll know somebody who can. And so it's just sort of, it's separating out that responsibility. Same thing, if we have somebody join and they want to join the new raid, they know that they can go talk to the officer who's over PvE content, and that person will tell them, okay, these are our raid times, this is what we're looking for, this is what you need to know to join us. And it just separates out that responsibility. And instead of it just being like, okay, well, who do I ask? Well, I'm just going to ask an officer, and that officer doesn't do raiding at all. And you're like, well, why did I even ask them then? Just to sort of focus it. But back to the more general topic of guilds here. So guilds are a social thing. They share resources. Whether that's just bodies, this person's a tank, this person's a healer, this person's a DPS, they can group together, they can do stuff together. That's part of it, but they can also share materials, like for crafting, for gathering, raid materials, so potions and buff scrolls or whatever it is. All that stuff can be shared so that not one person has to do everything. That's sort of the cool thing about them. Plus, they're a nice social interaction and things like that. And a lot of games that are coming out or have just come out, like Final Fantasy, for example, has the link shells. WildStar is going to have the idea of circles. They're kind of like guilds, but they're not as powerful. So link shells are effectively a custom chat channel. There's a leader, and then there's a link shell master, and then there's leaders under that, and the leaders can basically invite anybody. The master can rename the link shell or invite people. And that's pretty much the extent of it. But it gives a custom chat channel for people to be in. There's no, it facilitates the social side of it without having a guild bank. Basically, there aren't as many ranks and things like that as well. But basically, you have the social side of it. And WildStar is doing something similar with their circles. Basically, you have circles of people, and you can invite people to that, and go from there. Of course, we don't have any final word on WildStar yet, and exactly how many circles you're going to have, or what they're all going to entail, and things like that. But it looks very promising. So those are sort of half guilds. They're good for social. They're good for initial stuff. Like before I created the free company, we had a link shell, and then that way we could all still talk and communicate and do dungeon runs together and things like that. But it wasn't as hard and set as a free company or guild. So why do people make guilds? Why do people want to be in guilds? And that's basically everything I said before. People leave guilds for multiple reasons. Either the social environment wasn't good for them, or they just didn't like what the guild was doing. Things like that. Sometimes people leave just because, hey, my friends created a guild and I'm going to go join them. No big deal. That kind of stuff happens all the time. But being a good guild leader is really hard. You have so many hats to juggle. Basically, you're a leader for everyone. You're the point of reference that everyone is going to go by for their actions. If you're a jerk, then they're going to think that everybody in the guild is a jerk. If you're a really nice guy, they're going to think everybody in the guild's a really nice guy. But at the same time, if they're not a nice person, they might try and walk all over you. So it's all a balance, and knowing when to be a hard ass and when not to be, and all that type of thing. I've been in some really great guilds. I've been in some really bad guilds. Validus Knights in World of Warcraft on the Feathermoon server. Love those guys. They're still running strong. Amazing guild. I think last time I checked, they were #1 Alliance guild on Feathermoon for raid progression. So I love those guys. They're doing great things. But exactly, I mean, I haven't been in that guild for 2 years, but guess what? I remember them. I had huge amounts of fun with them, and it's something that'll stick with me forever. That's the real key to a guild, is that they're more than just a group of people. They're a group of friends. They're a group of comrades. They're a group of war buddies. In this virtual existence, and that's something very powerful. That's something. I mean, I have friends in that guild that I will talk to probably for the rest of my life, and that's no different than knowing someone from childhood. Or I mean, hell, I actually talk to people from that guild more often than I talk to people from childhood or people I graduated with. So guilds are a very powerful thing, and they build friendships and things like that, and that's the real key to a guild. Different developers have different sort of ideas of what a guild needs. I mean, they're all pretty common. Final Fantasy is sort of bare bones right now. I mean, it's there. You have your chat channels, but there's no officer channel currently. So we're using a link shell for that. Some of the restrictions and things like that are a little too cut and dry. There's not quite as many options as I would like, but they were focused on rebuilding an entire game, and they did it in 2 years instead of 5 years. So I don't mind that the guild interface is a little bare bones at the moment, but hopefully it'll pick up and be good. If you look at World of Warcraft, their guilds have like 25 levels, and you get different abilities at each level, and you have different you can set a bunch of different ranks, and you can set a bunch of different permissions for those ranks. So you can do all sorts of things with that. Um, and that's the end goal, is to basically have a good group of people, be able to set it up how you want it, so you can give the restrictions to the people that or access to people that really need it or want it. So yeah, that's my thoughts on guilds, guys. Be sure to like, favor, subscribe. All that information will be coming after this. Have a good week, guys. See you next time.
Hey guys, thanks again for watching the show. If you'd like to follow us, you can look us up on these social media sites. You can follow us on Twitter at Jordan Raider and at Charles Goldwing. Charles Goldwing is Andrews. You can follow us on YouTube. Hopefully that's where you're watching this, but if it's embedded someplace else, you can follow us on YouTube with the YouTube URL here. www.youtube.com/gaminggold88, and you can also follow us on Facebook at our Facebook page with www.facebook.com/gaminggold88. Thank you guys again for watching. Have a nice day.